After the break, it's time to share another moment with Five Roses. South Africa's favorite tea is expertly blended to ensure that it remains of the highest quality consistently. It's this commitment to excellence that Five Roses puts into making the perfect cup of tea, which delivers its uniquely superior and distinctive taste. Five Roses salutes South African women who too are committed to excellence. So today we're chatting with entrepreneurship activist Matsi Modise, one of the brightest brains in the business, committed to growing entrepreneurship in South Africa. She's joining us for a cup of Five Roses pure premium rooibos, created using only the finest leaves from the rooibos plant for a perfectly smooth and delicate taste. There's also rooibos with honey flavor or rooibos with chamomile. So don't go away. We'll be back after the break with Matsi Modise and Five Roses right here in the loft. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Our next guest is reshaping the enterprise development industry one startup at a time. Former National Executive Director of the South African Black Entrepreneurs Forum, current Managing Director of SiMODiSA and founding CEO of Furaha Afrika Holdings, Ms. Matsi Modise is a leading voice on entrepreneurship in our country, and we're so honored to have her here with us today. Welcome to the loft.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
My favorite topic, entrepreneurship. How great is our need for entrepreneurs in Africa and South Africa?
Well, basically, entrepreneurs are people that are going to move the economy. If you look at what's happening, the economy has globally declined. All the big industries are shedding jobs. So who is going to create the jobs? Who are going to be the people that are going to be innovative? So entrepreneurs play a critical role in our society globally and also in South Africa.
What big challenges do startups typically face when entering the industry?
Normally you find the big F word in this space, which is funding. So access to funding tends to be a challenge. I think entrepreneurs need to understand at what stage can you actually get funding. In South Africa, there's little venture capital. So you're not going to find a lot of people that are going to seed your idea, like give you startup capital. It's either you depend on friends, fools of family. So normally that's kind of the trend. Access to a market, you really need to ensure that you have a consistent market. You need to know if it's a seasonal market. So really do your research when it comes to who is actually going to buy my product. And then I suppose social capital, that's basically, people that are going to support you. So your mentors who can open doors. So basically I would say those are my top three, challenges that, entrepreneurs tend to have as a startup.
Your own company, Furaha Afrika Holdings. How do you facilitate the development and growth of entrepreneurs in South Africa?
Sure. So Furaha is a Swahili word for happy. So Furaha Afrika Holdings is, a company I founded, and basically it has a Pan-African view. Entrepreneurship development is not a very difficult thing. It has to be systemized, it has to be within an ecosystem. So in South Africa, there are a lot of public and private sector organizations that actually want to support small businesses, but we are not coordinated. So, the role that we play is we identify the opportunity. For example, I did a project for one of my clients in Rwanda 2 weeks ago, and basically it's around the sustainable development goals of the continent and how do you get, young people and business to work together towards achieving this. So basically the process would be identifying the right people to have that conversation, but it needs to go beyond just talking about it. It's identifying key stakeholders that will ensure that now we actually action these sustainable development goals.
And last year you were appointed Managing Director of SiMODiSA. How does SiMODiSA as a company help structure new businesses?
Brilliant. So SiMODiSA is an industry association for entrepreneurs and led by entrepreneurs. I have a wonderful team of amazing people that are doing different things to help and support small businesses. So as an industry association, our focus is how do we become the golden thread that connects the entrepreneurship ecosystem, because you've got funders, you've got mentors, you've got incubators, you've got accelerators. They're all operating in silos. So then if everybody's operating in their own silos, it's difficult for us to see the impact. So our industry association basically coordinates the space and creating a community of entrepreneurs in South Africa, whereby, if you're an entrepreneur, it's a very lonely road. It's important to know that, you've got a big brother or big sister that's basically looking after you from a policy regulation perspective, advocating for entrepreneurship, but also essentially promoting the growth of venture capital. because right now that's what's missing in the space.
Right.
Yeah.
What more needs to be done just, globally and just as a country to encourage entrepreneurship and innovation amongst young people?
Well, I would say that, people need to see it as an investment opportunity, because a lot of the times when, entrepreneurs come and ask for help, people would think that it's a CSI project. It's not. It's a socioeconomic imperative, and people need to see it as, I need to support this young girl or this young man because they are going to create jobs. Not, shame, let's help them. But you need to see it as you're investing into the bigger picture. So we need to support, we need to promote. If a young cousin of yours comes and say, I need 10,000 rands to, start this business, get very excited. And if you can provide that kind of small capital, which we would call you an angel investor, do it. It doesn't have to cost you millions to actually invest in seeding ideas. So do your part. Mentor small businesses. I mean, you are in the entertainment industry. So for somebody who wants to start a small business in the space, why don't you kind of share your learnings and share your experiences so we can all play a role? It doesn't have to be a big thing to actually support entrepreneurs.
Well, absolutely. What are the qualities that a successful entrepreneur needs to have?
You need to be very brave. You need to be convinced that this is the idea because the times get very challenging. When the bank manager calls you because you haven't paid them your car, installments for the past 3 months, you need to have an answer for that. And you need to kind of be convinced that this is an idea that's going to work. But also, I think you have to be realistic. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. Your idea is not necessarily going to be the next Facebook or Uber. So you have to be willing to basically go back to the drawing board and then pivot again and try it again and try it this way and try it that way. So you really also need to be willing to listen. A lot of entrepreneurs, as much as they're convinced that this is the idea, listen to those who've traveled that journey because there's a lot of wisdom. They've burned their fingers. So be open to criticism. Be open to listen to what your market is saying because at the end of the day, you're serving a market. You're not serving yourself and your own interests and needs.
You run your own successful company and you sit on numerous boards that encourage development in this area in South Africa. What advice do you have for young business owners?
Well, I think young business owners need to really believe that now is the time to actually start a small business. Now it's the time to see entrepreneurship as a career instead of, you go through university and then you pass and then now you're going into the work market and then you're struggling, you're walking around with your CV and then you decide to be an entrepreneur. It should essentially be something you want to be from the onset. And it's something that we need to start harnessing and nurturing in young children so that they're like, I want to be an entrepreneur. As much as it's risky, they need to know that there's a huge responsibility. Our country definitely needs more entrepreneurs, people that are going to be job creators, not job seekers. It's not cool to be carrying around your CV and being a job seeker.
Thank you so much, Matsi, for inspiring us today.
It's an absolute pleasure.
So expert insight from entrepreneurship activist Matsi Modise, who's dedicated not only to the development of existing businesses, but transforming the industry to encourage and support the next generation. Much like Five Roses is committed to bringing you a range of superior tasting and refreshing teas, while equally maintaining their heritage of quality blends. We're giving away a fabulous Five Roses gift pack containing an assortment of their delicious teas. To stand a chance to win, simply SMS the keyword Five Roses, your name, and city to 33728. SMSs are charged at R1.50 and T's and C's do apply. So visit our website, afternoonexpress.co.za for the details. Join us again this time next week when we'll be chatting to another exceptional South African woman. And until then, remember that nobody makes better tea than you and Five Roses.